One of the most impactful women in American history is Harriet Tubman, born Armanita Ross. She would later be called Moses after leading dozens of enslaved Africans to freedom through a network of secret routes and safe houses known as the Underground Railroad. Many of those stops are right here in Illinois. Glennette Turner, Dr. Glennette Turner, is an historian and author who's written many books about the Underground Railroad. And not just about the Underground Railroad, but you've written 13 books in general. And you started off, though, with kid-like books, right? What made you change into the Underground Railroad and history?
I've been fascinated by Harriet Tubman and all my life. And when we moved to Wheaton in 1968, a new neighbor made a chance remark. She said the Underground Railroad had operated there, and I couldn't believe her.
It is hard to believe.
But I checked it out and found out there was some truth to that, but I wanted to know more and more. And I hadn't learned about it in school, so I wanted to learn about it and write about it to share.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't learn about it in school, and there are a lot of movements to keep it from out of schools right now. But you worked hard to do that. How tough was it to research it, especially in an area like DuPage County, which is predominantly white?
Well, it was a good start at the museum, at the Historical Museum, and then it was during the bicentennial year that I started research, so many places were, looking into their history, and so it really made it easier, but it was a wonderful challenge, and I loved it.
Are people always surprised to find out that the Underground Railroad went through those areas? And what are some areas you can tell us about right now that we would never know?
Well, Downers Grove for one, and Lombard and Glen Ellen, just really so many towns all around, were destinations on the Underground Railroad.
And so for folks who are watching who don't know anything about the Underground Railroad, which is hard to believe, it was Harriet Tubman who would go into the north, or excuse me, into the south, take people into the north and go back. She made several trips back and forth, even freeing her brothers at one point.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my next book is about how she freed her brothers over one Christmas week. She arrived on Christmas Eve in Maryland, where they were enslaved and where they had learned they were to be sold over the holiday. And she had them in Canada by New Year's.
Wow.
Yeah.
How could she do that? How tough was that for her?
Oh, she just accomplished the impossible.
And she was a little woman too, right?
She was really very small. As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to interview her great niece, the last relative who had known her personally. And she said she was a tiny person, but wow, was she ever mighty.
Tiny but mighty, that's for sure. How could she, what would she go in the middle of the night, obviously, so nobody could see? And tell us a little bit about the route and how she decided to how could she find it in the first place?
Well, she'd been enslaved herself, and she knew there were a number of black mariners and a number of white Quakers who had been really against slavery and who would assist her. And then she had learned from her father how to navigate by the stars, and really just had such knowledge of nature, and so she was able to go through Maryland and into Delaware, and she then arrived in Philadelphia. But she wasn't content to be safe herself, when she knew she had so many family members and other people who were still enslaved.
Did someone decide to hang out with her and do the same thing, or was she just a lone wolf in this?
Well, she pretty much was the one who went back, who actually traveled. But there was a black man by the name of William Still in Philadelphia at the Anti-Slavery Society, and he did a lot to really learn of people who, were about to be sold or needed her help. Some were even her relatives in Maryland or in Baltimore and in other locations that she helped even before she began to go back in person.
Was she ever caught?
No.
Never?
She had $40,000 reward on her head, and one time she went to sleep sitting in front of a wanted sign. She couldn't read, she just had all kinds of intelligences other than reading and writing. But her great niece, Mrs. Alice Brickler, told me that one time she fell asleep in front of the posted sign saying they wanted her for $40,000. But as she said, the Lord was with her, and she woke up and got away before anybody found her.
Indeed, indeed. There are a lot of indigenous Americans, too, who helped
Yes,
along
there
the way.
were.
Yeah. How tough was that?
That was very hard, but there was just really such wonderful opportunity or cooperation.
Yeah. Now, you wrote a book about that, too,
Yes,
didn't you?
I did.
13 books. How many books about the Underground Railroad? And a new one's coming out, you
Yeah,
say?
there were 5 that are published, and then that'll be a 6th.
Oh, my goodness.
And it can be ordered. It's really going to be ordered, can be ordered at Barnes & Noble, or pre-ordered, I should say.
And you're still going. You're not going to stop doing that. There's a big event coming up, too, right? Tell me about that.
Well, in Oak Brook, there's going to be an Underground Railroad lecture series, and Larry McClellan, who's done a lot of work on the Underground Railroad in the southern suburbs, and I are going to be the experts that will talk about the Underground Railroad in Oak Brook and DuPage County.
What's left for you to accomplish?
Well, I'm about to establish a tour of the Underground Railroad, so that I'll be providing tours.
Can we go with you with a camera?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I want to
that'd be
go.
wonderful.
Yes, let's do
I
it.
love
Let's
it.
plan on it for sure.
Oh, please,
Okay,
I'd like that very much.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun to talk to you and to learn. Every time, you know, I talk to someone, a historian, you learn so much more
Well,
that you
thank
didn't
you.
know before, and you were so helpful in getting the word out.
Well, thank
I
you
really
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your recent doctorate.
Oh, well, thank you. And tell people to order The Gift of Freedom from Barnes & Noble. I think that'll be great.
Okay, I want you to find all of Glennette Turner's books on her website, which is at ugrrillinoisandbeyond.com. And you can hear more of these fascinating stories at the Oak Brook Historical Society's discussion on the Freedom Seekers and the Underground Railroad in DuPage and beyond. And that's Sunday, May 4th at 2 p.m. inside the Oak Brook Village Hall. For details, visit oak-brook.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.